American people have no idea what a war is like. They see it on television, big deal, you know. But they're not there. They don't smell the stink.
You know, if you told somebody you were a machine gunner on a helicopter, people were afraid of you for no reason. I mean, you were just a regular guy, you know. So
that you have a very tiny group who decide to serve. Many of them come from their disproportionately rural, disproportionately southern, and some of them are from sort of lower economic brackets. And people don't know how to relate, and then they end up relating to stereotypes.
Years. I remember when the ship pulled in, we come into Treasure Island, San Francisco. We were on one of them old Liberty ships. Have you ever heard of a Liberty ships? And there was a rough sucker. We come in through the northern route, through the Bering Sea, through Alaska, and then it was a rough ride. But the only thing they had on the pier was the Marine Corps band playing a Marine Corps hymn, and we all had tears running down our eyes. That was it.
to the Vietnam veteran, welcome home means you're back. You're not back from war, you're back as a person, as a part of society. That we weren't welcomed when we got back. We weren't part of what was here. We were different.
It was probably the day in Grenada. About day 4, we hadn't had a shower in 3 days, and we were doing movement to contact looking for guys. And I'm carrying a ruck, and we're walking down the road in a column formation, and in the middle of this road is I say a 63-year-old Grenada lady. It was an older lady of Grenadian persuasion. And as we went by, everyone got a hug and a kiss, and she said, "God bless you and Ronald Reagan for saving us." And it really just put you into perspective that, you know, no matter how bad we were or how bad we stunk, this lady was going to give us each one a hug like we were one of her kids. And I still think about that.
I didn't feel like I needed to be honored, you know, I mean, hell, I didn't win any medals, you know.
I don't know, I guess to be recognized for what you did. You know, whatever it was, I didn't do a whole lot. I went over there and did my job and came home. And that's all. It's expected of anybody.
One time I was down at Jeff City because I was a Missouri National Guard, and we went out to eat. Now, somebody bought us lunch. It was this great gesture. I appreciated it, but sometimes I don't feel like I deserved it because as an officer, we're not supposed to accept things like that. Did it make the family feel good? Yes. But sometimes I don't want to be thanked. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It just depends on the days.
I make it a habit of my life, you know, but I do that with teachers. I do that with everybody, your first responders. I know, thank them for their service because I know they have a rough job. I know they're wealthy off of this. They're here because they love doing what they're doing, and their lives sometimes are harder, and sometimes they go without because of what they've chosen to do. And absolutely, I'll thank a veteran for that, you know. But I still say that we need to help them with our actions.
Using civilian organizations, like our partnership with Dress for Success. We're using somebody that was a civilian-based organization, but giving them access to the military because we have that connection. And we're now using their skill sets and their resources to take these military men and women back into the civilian life.
RC East in Afghanistan, which is one of the worst places you want to be in Afghanistan. And it was according to which way that we was hauling our missions. Like if we was going north, it wasn't too bad. If we was going west, it wasn't too bad. But if we was going down south, that's when we knew to tighten our belts up a little bit. We were driving around, blast holes in the road. We was dodging IEDs. We were RPGs. Yeah, we had to really be careful.
Finally, when they pulled out, it was pretty much a political deal. You see in the news reports of the helicopters taking off of the top of the embassy building in Saigon, and the Vietnamese people hanging onto the rudder and the runners on the helicopter trying to get home.
We all got the somewhat same experience, but you know, we all carry stuff with us. I mean, the company commander that had to write the letter for one of the 7 guys that didn't come back had a much tougher day than me, but I still remember that guy's name.
So when someone does thank you for your service, how does that make you feel?
Oh, it makes me feel proud that I did what I did. Sometimes you think about the ones that didn't make it back.
It's different. You can't train for the fog of war.
You're gonna suffer from some type of PTSD, regardless of what the hell you're going, whether it's a little bit or a whole lot. You know, some people can't. It's hard to be, if you're in an artillery barrage, you got counter battery fire, you're trying to get away from everything, and it's booming and booming. Some guys just go nuts over it. I mean, I've seen guys jump up and start running. I mean, screaming, you know. Sometimes you can't, and the ones that do handle it sometimes go nuts afterwards. Anyway, it's not a good story.
Basic training in the Marine Corps is different than the other services. Basic training in the Marine Corps makes you a Marine, and you're a Marine for the rest of your life. It instills discipline, honor, respect.
People were joining for different reasons. They were joining knowing full well that they were going to war, which hadn't been true for the past 10 years or more.
It does change you, and it does change your outlook on your way of life, and it does change your views somewhat, but it doesn't change the fact that I'm a U.S. American. It doesn't change it. It doesn't change the fact of how I look at our flag.